right.
Careful, careful. Don't bump into nothing. Let's
All
look.
right.
Here we go. Are we ready for some
We're ready.
gratitude?
Are you ready? Yeah.
You start. I don't want to take it all away.
What? I'm grateful we're in here doing this. I would be more grateful if my mic would work correctly
Is that on?
ever, once, perhaps. There
Testing,
we go.
testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we ready for takeoff?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm grateful we're in here and this is great. I love it. See? It's great to be grateful.
I'm grateful that it is another beautiful day that I get to wake up and breathe. I started off this morning watching the sunrise and I thought, I'm really grateful for that. You know, I'm grateful that I made it through another day. I'm grateful that I get to be here to inspire people. I'm grateful that I lost the 100 pounds and I've kept it off. I'm grateful for my bike and that my life has totally turned around. So I'm just saying, like, that is where I'm at with gratitude. And I know you are too. And I know
Yeah.
everybody else is out there with that gratitude. I'm never doing this to be like, hey, you don't have enough gratitude.
Hey, man, I'm just grateful you guys are back for another episode of Plantspiration Unplugged. We're John and Stefanie Ignoffo, founders of Plantspiration. We started a nonprofit to help people go plant-based, reverse their disease, help the animals and the planet. Heck
That's
yeah.
right. People know us for losing 250 pounds as a family, preventing a slew of our own chronic diseases. And now we are reaching and teaching people all over the world how to prevent and reverse disease and live their happiest, healthy life. Welcome back, you guys. This is episode 32. And ready for this?
Wow.
It's not about willpower, it's about skill power.
That's awesome.
So if you're burned out from diets, like this was kind of the summary. If you're burned out from just dieting, being stuck in survival mode, or if you're just looking for some motivation, this is the episode you're invited to listen to stop chasing the change and
Yeah.
become it.
Accept it and be
Be-
one with the change. Be the change.
Is that how you looked at it?
Yeah.
I like that.
I think of that little sign that you have that I saw. I'm like, it says see the change. And I'm like, I see it right away and I'm like, be the change. What do you mean see the change?
I think it says be the change.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not correct.
It says see the change.
Just like your headphones. Doesn't it feel weird? Are they even on right?
Are they backwards?
Try it out.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
flip them around.
Whoops a daisy. Oh, that is much better.
That feels better.
I was wondering what's going on. Whew. Well,
We're ready to go.
although we are not professional, what is a professional podcaster actually?
I have no idea.
We're just coming in here doing it.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be one. Okay.
All right. Well, I think at the beginning, that's what it felt like we have to do everything right or we have to do everything perfect. And we had these notes. We had dry erase boards coming
my
out.
gosh. Yeah.
We had them now we're not even looking. There's nothing on them.
No.
Maybe a little bit. But
But
because
yeah, it's just it just took a little growing to know you just got to do you.
you got to
just-
do you.
yeah.
We came in here. It was another
It's
busy week.
unplugged. It's unscripted. Like this is what it's about.
This
so.
is, yeah. This is real. This is exactly what this is. This is not, well, I mean, we have an idea of what we're going to talk
Yeah,
about
I got a
because the
couple
week
notes,
we got
but
some
not-
busyness, but
Not like
just
17
keeping it
dry
real.
race boards or nothing,
never thought we'd be in here. Let me just first of all start off with a little dopamine. I love to give you these numbers because you have numbers for me for the Plantspiration Health
Yeah, I
Report,
hope
right?
you have the other numbers because those are bigger.
I do. So check this out. First, when we were going to come in here earlier, it was at 41,427. But in the couple hours until we got back in, it went up.
Really?
So it's at 41,440. And I'm not saying I don't look at the
That's
numbers
awesome.
every day. And that's followers.
I
So we want to say
certainly don't.
thank you guys so much.
That's freaking awesome. I mean, that's a lot of followers.
Give it up.
That's a lot.
All because we just started showing up and not worrying about
Yeah.
we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
We just made a commitment. We had a purpose. We have to get out here. We have to show everybody that you can do whatever you want if you just start doing it and not worrying about all this other stuff, not worrying about everybody else. Is that a good way to put it?
It is. I think I'm allergic to something in this room. Like
You
my
think?
throat gets janky.
Now you're making me feel janky. Get it?
Let's clear it.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I think I'm Chris Farley. One of the guys in Chicago. The brats.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're in here, and what I want to ask you first of all was, how's your week? And then it's really weird that you brought up that dynamite stuff,
Yeah.
the Napoleon Dynamite stuff. It's
It's
the only way
not-
for me to remember it.
It's not. It's not Napoleon Dynamite. It's Napoleon Hill.
Okay, so anyway, we had this like peanut butter and jelly moment is what this was this week.
All right.
Don't you think?
Man, I could go for a peanut butter and jelly right now.
Okay.
Wait, what? What were you saying?
I'm talking about this willpower. It's not willpower, it's skill power. And as
Yeah.
I actually brought those words into this week,
I noticed.
and you oddly had come up with this, hey, I was thinking about,
Yeah.
how did that come up?
I don't know. I just started thinking about it. Like, I just learn a lot from people that are past people that are just so damn smart. I mean,
Explain to me, well, first of all, how was your week? And then we'll go back to that. But first, how was your week?
it was busy. It was busy. Had a board meeting.
That's right. I saw you at
did
that board
work.
meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Nice job, by the way.
Yeah, that was cool. It was a good meeting.
It's effective. And I didn't know how to handle that stuff in the beginning. I mean, let's be real. I can't come in here and pretend like, oh, yeah, I've been doing board meetings my whole life. I had to figure that stuff out as we went along.
Yeah.
And that was scary stuff. It was like a couple of years of shakiness. And then this whole nonprofit was like, there's laws. There's actually rules we have to follow,
Yeah.
and that whole process was a little scary. You know how many times I wanted to give up and be like, maybe once.
Yeah, maybe, but you didn't tell anybody.
No, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. I've been through, and I would say things like, I've been through this, and this. Like, this is nothing.
Exactly.
But it was. Anyway, we had a board meeting this week. As you were saying.
Yeah, that's all. And the rest is blurry.
Is it blurry?
Yeah.
Does it feel blurry?
Well, yeah,
Blurry?
because it's like not Plantspiration stuff. I love the excitement of this, but like running machine shops and parts and tools and people and stuff, it's like I don't need to use any more brain space for that. Like, I don't need to remember what went on.
I got you. So I should stop asking you about your week at work.
No, you don't. You could keep asking. It's
I'm
gonna be the
just-
same answer. I don't remember because I shouldn't have to. It's the weekend, baby.
It is. And thank you for that ride yesterday that we went on.
Yeah,
we
got
crushed
out on
that.
a bike ride. It was great.
Put in some miles. What a beautiful day. It's
yeah.
getting nicer out. It's getting summery. I'm way into that. I wake up and I just think, like, when can I get on my bike? And I had a week of no bike.
Yeah,
I was kind of
wow.
recovering from that. I feel good. Look, I can lean on my elbows.
I know.
Everything's
Had a
good.
nice wreck last time.
It's all right. I bounce back. I come back. But the week, it was busy. We had the board meeting. And then after that, our president resigned.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, we got to do, how do I, hey, who? Because she really put everything together for us.
yeah.
She was the reason why we really solidified this board and we got it together. So I just want to give a huge shout out to our former president.
Yeah, thank
Jonna, thank you so much for everything you did. Like, these words aren't even going to put into, I have to follow up because it was a busy week and I didn't have
you. Thank you.
very much time to get into it because we voted right away. We had people that
Well,
I
we
just,
have people sending in resumes.
yeah,
man.
that's come. Everything's going really fast. It's kind of what it feels like right now. So
yeah.
that's why I haven't had a minute to really think about anything else. All the things that I've been wishing for and manifesting and dreaming of. And can you imagine the day that I get to say, hey, people, why am I talking like that?
I don't know.
Why am I doing that?
Like, I knew this was going to happen, but I'm just like freaked out about it.
What do you mean?
My meditations have been like really showing me some signs and stuff, and I freak myself out. I'm like,
You're freaking
I'm
me
almost
out.
afraid to meditate now. It's
What?
Like, whoa, what's going on?
Hold on a second.
I'm at all of a sudden I'm at our birthday. You're 100 and I'm 104.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
telling me
whoa.
this weird stuff, and something's happening to you, by the way.
I've been hard to get into deep meditation since then. That was like November. I'm like, that was kind of freaked me out a little bit.
more
Like, I
what you
was
saw.
there.
That's crazy.
It was weird. I was like, whoa. And then all of a sudden I'm in my office.
I love
Oh,
this.
shit. What time is it? I was meditating.
How would you explain it? Because, I mean, let's be real. When we first heard about this meditation, my therapist would be telling me to meditate.
That's stupid.
I was just, and I don't want
I
to
don't have
make
time
any.
for that. No, that's how I was. I'm not putting it on anybody else. I just thought it was dumb.
And when you saw me doing it, what were you thinking?
That's Oh, whatever.
Really?
Just no, I'm just like, do it.
I
Yeah.
mean, you've always been super supportive, but I definitely have been bringing in new
Yeah, I
tools, you
wasn't,
know.
no, I wasn't like negative about it at all. It's just I wasn't ready for me. That's
It's
all.
hard. It is like going to
And
the
now I'm like,
gym.
holy shit, I need to get a crystal ball because
It's
the
power. It can be
lottery's coming up
powerful.
soon.
The lottery's coming up soon. It's first of all, it's like a form of stress management. I wouldn't be here today getting through the things I'm getting through if I wasn't bringing in these tools, the skills. Like I said, it's not willpower, it's skill power. These are
Yeah.
part of the skills. You know, why isn't this working and why isn't that working? You know, and I remember learning and hearing in so many different ways. It was like, if you're stressed out, you should meditate for 30 minutes.
Yeah. And if you're really stressed out, you should meditate for an hour.
I was like, this
That
is,
was my hard spot. That's exactly where I was. I'm like, that makes no sense to me because I
yeah,
got a lot of shit going on and I don't have
yeah,
time for that Mickey Mouse bullshit.
yeah. John's,
I was like,
you are like saying it, like
well,
slaying it
that's how
today.
I was. Why? I'm not going to mask it.
It's,
It's who I am.
it
It's
is
how
what
I
it is.
was. And
So you started tapping into it. And by the way, we didn't even know we were going to go here today.
no, this wasn't even.
We're not
This
even,
is not part of
you
my
guys,
notes.
yeah. So I want to know now what occurred when you started meditating.
I don't know. I just started feeling more at peace. I think is the easiest way to explain it because there's just so much,
I have
but
a
just
description.
overall of how life's going or how I'm controlling what's going, what I can. I feel more at peace. That's what it is. So
Blown away listening to you say this.
what's your brain power saying?
So I felt like that, you know, when you're watching like waves, I mean, I can only describe in like my,
Seeing the waves.
So I see the waves.
That's an oscilloscope.
really,
Oscilloscope. Yeah, where you see the waves going,
I'm, but
and
then
then all
there,
of a sudden,
but then
they're
there's theta
cruising.
waves.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so am I hearing the theta waves of this? Because I've also learned to meditate to that, and it's like another elevation. So anyway, say the things you were talking about again. Waves,
See, what was I talking
psyllium
about?
waves.
No, it's just this one thing where you can see waves for electric stuff.
Okay, there it is. So that's what I see
That's when you see things showing you the
So-
waves. That's what you're seeing.
when
I
I'm
think
getting
I'm
into
pronouncing
it.
that right.
The way that you explain it, I think you are. When you're explaining your experience, mine is very similar, and I'm wondering what everybody else, if they're tapping into this. Those waves, when I start off, they're all up, they're all over the place. They're all over the place, and I am just trying to get my waves to like
Chill out.
chill. So I can also, I feel like I physically feel it. So if I'm very high energy, it's like, oh, calm down, girl. Calm down. You're at a Stef 5. You got board meetings. You got this coming at you. You got that coming at you. And here's that skill of I got to get it to calm down because it's the best way for me to focus on. It's happening. What you've been manifesting is actually right now. Don't get carried away with everything going on right now. Stay focused on right here. And then it goes down to like a flat, I can feel it almost out of my body.
The peacefulness, yeah.
Yeah, even if it's for like seconds, it feels like way longer in between that it actually, is that relatable to you?
Yeah. Oh, totally, totally. It's like all the crazy waves all of a sudden into white noise.
Yes. Yes. That took work to get there.
Yeah.
And then you want to go back to it.
Yeah.
Because it feels good in your brain and your body. And I mean, we're scratching the surface of the evidence and the science behind that. But I can completely understand now if you're stressed out, you need to go to it immediately and you need to practice it. And there's different steps. This is why I bring this up so much. And it's become such a passion in my coaching of this is part of it. If you're not tapping into the calm and the stress management and what we're capable of doing and believing, it's not going to happen. Does that make sense?
No, totally makes sense.
You're like in your eyes.
I know.
The
I was
light, the
meditating
heat.
there for a
It's
second.
like,
What are
where'd
we
you
what are
go?
you even talking
Where
about?
did you go?
Well, I was just thinking about that. I mean, really, it's just really peaceful. That's the best way I could describe it. So then I just feel more comfortable with everything that I'm doing.
Unbelievable that you say that. And I guess
know.
I say it like that because this is exactly why we're in here to kind of talk about this is not the way we were. This is not the way we thought. This is not the way we moved through life. And when I asked, I'm doing my live coaching calls and you come in and one of the coaching sessions I was having, I was like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed out is everybody? Because I was talking about stress
Yeah,
management
that's
in the
right.
group. And it's so effective in the group because who said it? I don't know when you fight, when you wire together, you fire together, and like more power in numbers stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
it's also so effective. But anyway,
That's why it's really important to have everybody on your team have the same vision. Otherwise, how are you going to get there properly?
the more
You know
people
what I
that
mean?
are doing this and getting inspired and getting motivated. So I'm doing this live and I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed out are you? And when I saw you put like 0 to 1, did I see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And one is just normal.
We have to have stress.
When something breaks at work, we don't have a spare tool. It's like, okay, that bring me up a little bit. Whoa, what the shit? Now I gotta go make something really quick. Heat treat it, get it back. We can't have a machine down.
Exactly. So that's not how you were
We gotta
before. You were like tripping balls before. You were always
yeah.
like, whoa,
Totally.
but more like
But now it's like you
grumpy.
gotta stay calm. Oh yeah. Now it's like calm, just get it done.
This is
Because we
nice.
gotta be able to control the machines before they start controlling us.
Oh, shoot. Here we go. But this is nice to hear this from you because I don't want you stressed out. I don't want to put, you know what I mean? I want all of that. This is working because we're having fun doing it. And I didn't want this to be stressful. You know, how are we pulling it off? Episode 32, numbers through the roof, by the way, 41,000 followers.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
By the way, another big milestone, 522,000 views. So we've went over 500,000 views. This is, so again, if it wasn't for all that meditation for me, I don't think I would be mindful of the moment, and I don't watch the numbers anymore. I just kind of, oh yeah, that's right. It's going, it's happening. Well, we're just kind of doing our
we don't
thing.
have time to look at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? We're
Literally.
just doing our thing.
Doing the things that I'm trying to inspire and
you
teach
got the
other people
numbers.
to do.
Exactly. At the same time, what we're doing, we're sharing
Then
us
here,
doing our thing.
and then in here, we're doing our thing. We started this with, we don't know what we're doing, but we just got to, we
gotta
just feel like
just
we
do
got to
it.
say something. Like, this is what we're doing over here. We're being, I guess we're just being real. So it was a week, and it's just going to keep on weeking.
That's right.
Like, life is just going to keep on lifing, but we have to have these things. And, you know, when I mentioned it to people this week, it was, I guess, a relevant topic of, it is not about willpower. And so many people start a diet or start to want to lose weight or get healthy, and they think that this is willpower. I shouldn't say they think, because we thought that
Yeah,
it was
well,
about
no doubt.
willpower. But then, you know, you overheard me, I think, talking about like, oh yeah, this line, skill power, not willpower.
Yeah, it's so true.
And then you brought up Napoleon.
Napoleon Hill. Yeah, just his
What is his? Explain it, because I know that
I'm not a
you
good explainer, man. I mean,
didn't. You have
it was
notes because they were.
I had
They
notes.
you. I thought you were
mean,
just reading them.
the main thing is, I got some notes over here.
See what I mean, you guys? They're right here. I love this.
I know. The main thing is having a clear vision of what you're gonna go after.
So he says, have a
your
clear
life.
vision.
Oh yeah, he says a lot of things.
What's my vision? Like, how did this work? Can you see it?
Yeah, I mean, to reverse disease and save lives.
I wanted to just like get it going.
Yeah, big time.
Or the vision is very real. And I guess our vision, when I think about it, it wasn't like, I just want to lose 20 pounds. Well, actually, it started off like that, to be real.
No, but it didn't. You started off to want to lose weight.
True.
And we never put a number on it.
You're right. It wasn't really, it was, I want to get in these skinny pants, but it was never about a number. It was like, I just want to get, and I actually started with, I just want to get through one day.
Oh yeah.
Let me just get through one day.
Barely made through it, but you
Barely. But I reminded myself the next day right away. And here's the little like tip of how I coach.
Yeah.
And the next day you remember of what you just accomplished the day before, the wins. I didn't think about all the stuff I didn't get. Like, I didn't get to eat this, and I quit drinking, and I quit caffeine, and I quit like, I just started thinking about what was next.
Yep.
I had a vision.
Yeah. You were just looking forward. You ripped the rear view mirror right off, and
Here we go.
off you went.
What other things does he, and basically, who is he? I forgot to ask, who is he? People might not know. And you had this.
Napoleon Hill. You're really putting it on me because
Because this is interesting.
He was just a cool dude way back in the day.
There's more.
Okay, he was born in 1888, and then
Really?
he lived in. Yeah, I think he died a year you were born. I think. But yeah, he was awesome. He devoted like 25 years of his life just studying the greatest, businessmen and most successful. What do they got that
I,
everybody doesn't have? Like he just really narrowed it down to the different things. And the first thing really is like you got to really have a clear vision and a drive for what you want.
what made you find this, or did you look it up, or did you just come across it and
I
go,
don't know. I
wow,
just
this is
remember.
familiar
I remember
or
seeing
relatable? I
him
mean,
years ago, and then, I mean, way years ago, and then, yeah, I saw something like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that guy, and so I had to go back and look him up and just kind of refresh what he did.
so he inspired you back in the day. Like, was it when you started your first business?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, it's been a long
I'm
time,
just saying,
20
you know what I
plus
mean? We
years.
talk sometimes about
Yeah.
having this, not only just a vision, but when you write it down or you have
Hmm.
you make notes or, what I can't, I'm drawing a blank right now myself. What are they called? We did it at the beginning of the year. A
What
vision
vision
board.
board? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He talks about having stuff like that in place, like making a vision so that we can focus on something so we know where we're going, which is
Exactly.
what we're incorporating. We have to know where we're going.
That's right. So you had a clear
We're going to the
vision.
top, we said last week.
Going to the top and it ain't going to
That's
stop. You
how it
might have to
works.
freaking call a cop. Okay, enough of that. Um, Anyways, a clear vision for
Fired
us.
in
I
here.
mean, because I then I kind of relate it with Plantspiration, reversing disease, saving lives, changing the normal narrative of the medical system and how everybody is running into food and in this and that. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, you got to take a second, step back and look at what's going on.
And exactly.
And then having like the mastermind, you're like building Plantspiration community. That was a huge, huge thing.
Again, like this is when I say, if anybody's listening and you're looking for
If
inspiration,
anybody's listening, they're listening.
they are
You have
listening.
numbers. They're
Well, if
listening.
anybody's
Thank you.
listening, thinking like, I want to do this,
Yeah.
do it.
Uh-huh.
Do it. That's what this is about, like doing it. Because I started this, what you're just hearing now, we didn't, first we go and lose the weight. Now I'm like, gosh, I just want to tell everybody. It kind of sucks that my doctor didn't tell me
Yeah.
that this isn't on commercials. Like, how come I was blown away that people weren't talking about it because I was so sick and we made very little change, it seemed, in a little amount of time to see the results that we
Yeah,
saw.
exactly. So that's what was like, why doesn't everybody know about this? The deeper you get into research, the darker it gets.
It was like, we're going to have to get, and I had nothing to lose. I was like, I'm just going to start telling everybody. And then Isabel was like, you should just make an Instagram.
Yeah.
This
Get
is
on
how it
Instagram.
started.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Get on Instagram and you should just share your story. And that was actually, this is what came up on Thursday
Yeah, I was
Thrive.
gonna say, isn't it? Your Thursday Thrive was going great, and then my Wi-Fi went out because it sucks at work. We're up in the woods, but I love living in the woods pretty much. But then it came back on, and then you're like crying. I'm like, oh shit, what did I miss?
I can't believe that happened,
What did I miss?
honestly. It was
I had to go back and watch it. It was awesome.
What was your take?
It was awesome. You're just basically it was the hashtags that you had 10 years ago of being
Yeah.
mindful and having gratitude.
And those were
And
new
now
to
you
me.
lost. I'm almost tearing up right now seeing you do that. That was awesome.
It was new to me.
Yeah.
That was that skill that I refuse to believe made an impact on my life
That was
or
a
what
big
I was
light-
doing.
That was a big light bulb moment for you.
Huge.
Yeah.
So I'm over here telling everybody in the group doing my live because I love to share like before and after. Like, look, you guys, you could do this. I mean, I get it. I've been stuck. I was in an old operating system. I used to believe we had to cut calories and I used to think I could just do it by myself, but we couldn't. All of the things we're putting together is exactly how this works.
Yeah.
So I'm telling them about, and I'm holding up the picture. I just was going to show them the picture.
Yeah.
Like, look, this was my first picture and it was in 2015.
Yeah.
And then I saw the hashtags grateful and mindful and I was like, oh my God, I've been doing it. I've been doing it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I've been doing it. I wasn't off worrying about everybody else. This was that shift.
Yeah.
Because we started in
exactly.
2013 and I was like, I got to tell everybody. I got to tell
Oh
everybody.
man, that was an exhausting 2 years, wasn't
Yes,
it?
more of this.
That
Exactly.
That was a lot. Just trying
It was
to.
a blur.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you just run out your front door trying to save the world, and
I wasn't finished taking care of myself.
No, exactly. You can't start before you weren't done coaching yourself, really to be the proper coach to help.
That's a great way to put it.
You really got through like everything to really know how to help most, I say 9, 10 out of 10 people you can help.
There's a lot of stuff that I've learned, picked up, and weeded through with a lot of people can relate to the fact of the authenticity of trying and failing and trying and failing, then being successful, and how come it's working, how sick I was, how much doctors weren't hearing me, the system wasn't hearing me, how sick I was. So I think when people hear us share this stuff, it's very relatable. So, and we're breaking that diet culture is what's going on over here. We're breaking the diet culture. And that's the hard part, because everybody comes in and wants to, get the plants down, get healthy, give me a menu,
give
this.
me recipes and I'm good.
But what I realized is it's the same amount of people who know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But they're having a hard time sticking to it. So then I have taken all the tools I've gone through in my life, not only for myself, the skills, but I started seeing the more that we applied them and the more that I brought them in.
That's why you call it skill power.
It is skill power.
Because you have the knowledge. It's there. You don't need the willpower. You just put those skills. You have it.
You have it. And everybody.
You've read the books, seen the doctors. You know plants are going to make your life better, but just doing it.
And I want
missing pieces. And you put it all together with Plantspiration.
Thank you. We did, and you're part of it. And everybody in Plantspiration is part of it, because that is part of it. You cannot do this you cannot do this like that.
Exactly.
To maintain it, to make, and play, well, we know the evidence shows you need community, but.
Yeah. I mean, shit, we scared all our friends off in 2013 to 15, so.
Well, it also was.
I got something for that.
Let's see. There we go. It was understanding what it took to make it stick. And so many people get distracted with all these other things. And there's a lot of healing that's going on, I guess, in a weird way. It's not just the food, it's behavior change, of course, the behavior and the pattern, I guess.
And I hear the work you're doing, because in the Saturday group, there's people that have been here and they're learning and they're progressing and doing it and losing weight. And side note, those are like mostly the people that are sending their chronometer snapshots.
This is awesome that you kind of see.
But they're doing it. Yeah. And I hear them talking. It's like, who is this person? Because they're totally like talking positive now. Everything was, and now it's.
They've gone through some stuff to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's way more than just a recipe.
There's way more than that going on. So back to the chronometer thing. That's let me just, I'm going to give a great example. Right before we got on this podcast, my girlfriend was showing me some program that you can upload your bank accounts to. You can use ChatGPT, you can upload it into it, and you can make it like organize all this stuff. Okay. And as soon as I saw her, and she's big into accounting and all this stuff, that's like, I'm out.
Yeah. Hold on. AI probably already knows how much money I have. I don't know if I want to shove myself in there.
My response back to her was, just to be transparent to everybody, was, now I know how people feel when I ask for chronometer.
Yeah, right.
Like, I know that's out there to help me organize my stuff, but I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. If you're not ready, you're going to make sure there's something that's holding you back.
You're
going to make sure of it, even if subconsciously, you're not ready, or you're on the fence or whatever. You're going to make up stuff to not do it. Oh, well, I got
How would I distract myself to avoid that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you would help other people.
To the burnt out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Burnt out.
Like bent over backwards, trying to help somebody that isn't ready to help themselves.
While I'm trying to build my business is when things got real.
Yeah.
Now how do I handle this?
Well, you're like, you know what? I need to build a business here and help more people, and really, you just had to, you care about all these people.
Yes.
But you just had to go through that to have the knowledge of how to go next. What's your next step?
It took me a while to figure that out. It really did. But if you don't have that skill in down. And I learned about that in lifestyle medicine too. They did talk about some of this stuff, boundaries and, and there's so much more reading that went involved that I went, hey, they recommended this, they recommended this. So I started like taking it all in. I wanted to understand myself
Yeah.
so that I could understand why people were wanting to know how to do this. Like I wanted to really be able to explain this is how you do this. And there's all these these parts, I should say. I need to take a drink. I'm getting into this. But you're watching me. Well, and then I'm watching you at the same time go through. You're talking about meditating.
Yeah.
Like, guys, this is not the way.
No.
I'm learning stuff about you in here.
I thought it was, I guess they call it woo-woo stuff. Hey, did I not say that right? Or is it woo-woo like a train? Or
No.
Woo, or
Well, it kind of is, and it was how I felt about everything. And I was, and if somebody was telling me to do that kind of stuff immediately, I was like, nope, this is what is working, for me. But clearly it wasn't working because I wasn't there.
Yeah. You actually got to do it before you can shell it out.
Is that a way to explain it? And I guess you saw this happen, where it was almost like the more I rode my bike and the more I meditated, the better things got, and I realized there's things I can't control and I can't worry about it if they're not ready for this or they're not doing it. Or
that's what it was. Yeah.
That was hard for me.
Yeah.
It was like letting go of the rope.
Well, it's like, why can't I help this person? Because they're not ready to accept it.
And I needed to accept that fact that it wasn't me.
That they're not ready to accept it.
There we go.
That's hard to do. And you thought it was a failure. And when people talk about failure, and that was another big thing with Napoleon Hill, just how we're talking, I didn't even really put it together. I was like, wait a minute, I've like heard this before a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's a big thing it's not failure. It's data. Seriously.
But I took it even as failure. And that's what we were saying. Like I took it as failure when people weren't doing this or couldn't do it. I thought, what am I doing wrong?
What am I missing? What am I,
Well, then I realized that was me. I'm the problem of I'm doing what I can do. I'm doing the right things. I'm going to continue to get better at doing these things. I can acknowledge the mistakes that I've made. I mean, I wish I could have a bunch of people come back.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We certainly like backed up a little bit and be like, you know what? We just have we have to deliver the information.
Yes.
And who's ready for it is going to do it.
And we are still, I think, getting better and better at this.
Yeah, and we will always be handing out the information.
Yes.
Like, you go plant-based, and I just feel it. I'm going to have way more life now.
We do have way more life.
I do.
Look at what we're doing, John.
I know.
13 years ago, where would we be on this day 13 years ago?
I don't know. I certainly wouldn't have been meditating and end up at my 104th birthday party.
That's the truth. We would have not even known how to ride a bike. We didn't know how to ride a bike. We would have been floating in the pool, which would have been beautiful. It would have been great.
Yeah, that's great.
But we would have been 3 sheets to the wind, not giving a shit about what was going on around us or what was happening now. We were so distracted with everything else that we weren't really paying attention to what was happening now.
My God, just thinking about all that, 3 sheets to the wind, floating in a pool, just
true.
Enduring it, and not being a crime fighter at night, but during the day, watching all the news and just getting worked up about all this.
Oh, we would wake up,
stuff that's going on that you can't control.
I thought it was about the weather, but it was all day long. It was like the same negative stuff and the same negative stuff and the same, and I knew it. But I didn't know how to kind of look away from it because I was so comfortable just sitting there. Just, I guess there's nothing I can do about it.
Throw another back.
I mean, is that a good way to put? I mean, we're tapping into stuff we didn't even have. None of this is on our notes, but this is really how we wanted it to be. Is just unplugged. These are the conversations we're having, kind of in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe I couldn't walk before? This is the stuff that's going on.
Well, see, the thing of it is, I also back then, really, I mean, cell phones existed, but I watched the weather in the morning on the news. And then I would go to work and leave the channel going all day long.
And listen to music. And we listen to music.
Well, yeah, music, of course. But then you're here and the news is going and they're playing the next stories and,
This is so relatable in many ways.
You weren't going anywhere. Your knees were a wreck. You were on the couch pretty much. Like, you did what you could and, got the kids off the school and stuff and just like, frick.
The last
100 pounds overweight, hurting on the couch, just taking in the news. That sounds
And then
pretty
just talking
damn
about
gray.
it. And then just talking about it all day. And what was that gaining for me?
I don't know. Nothing.
Then it was worrying about what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
I hate admitting that.
Or what
I
they
hate
thought
to
about.
admit that, but
Or,
it was
or
there.
what they thought about what you were doing.
Constant worry,
You know?
worry, worry, worry. What are they thinking? What are they doing? I'm not doing it like this, or it's got to be like this, or I wish I had this. Then it was analysis paralysis, where when I wanted to start a business, it was hard for me to look at anybody who was successful because I was like, I want to be successful. I wasn't making the connection of I could do that right now too if I just stopped thinking about what it was like and just started doing it. And that was that, these growth moments that we now can really, I just want other people to feel them.
Yeah, certainly.
I just want other people to know that this can happen. And there was always moments of, oh, this is so hard right now, or something bad happened, or this was negative, or things aren't going right, or there's an argument in the house, or there was a blow up. There has been a lot of transformation that's gone on in this house.
Yeah.
Not just with food, but with lifestyle. And then it turned into a lot of self-reflecting, understanding, and learning how to be better at taking care of ourselves so that we can be better at just doing what we're doing and have such a passion to have. And that, I think,
No,
just
that's
went
just great.
deep.
I mean, that's awesome. That we just wanted to be better people, to everybody else that we would come across.
Yeah, that everybody
it's
just
our
wants to feel
family
better.
or Plantspiration community, whatever. Just
When I say be the inspiration the world needs to see,
yeah, that's what
this
you're
is
talking
what
about.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I want everybody to be walking around feeling so good about themselves that you don't need to say a dang word. It just shows your confidence. And somebody's going to go, how did you do that? Well, I joined Plantspiration. I started feeling good about myself. But I mean, no,
First and
just
foremost.
I changed my diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
I got on plants is like the first thing people are going to be willing to hear. You kind of can't explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it just goes from there. You change the plants and then you're changing your brain because the nutrition and stuff, and then it's just
then you want to exercise. Then you want to.
Yeah,
You start tapping into learning stress management. And these are the people that are sending me chronometers. These are the people that are telling me, "Wow, I'm doing some journaling and I'm doing some breathing." I'm bringing in the pillars, wrapped up with a little neuroscience coaching. Is when I really felt like things started turning around. I incorporated more of it. I had a better understanding of it. You know what I mean? What are you thinking?
I don't even know if we're recording our audio, our video. Are we recording on there?
I don't know. Should we look?
Well, I'm gonna, but let's just keep talking.
Yeah, let's keep talking. If it's not recording.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Ooh. You guys just watch your real world. I'm going to swap my armpits off. That's it. Because
I don't have a producer, so I got to mash the go button.
That's how we do it.
I'm just so into this, I forgot. Did I even start the dang thing?
See? We got so into what we were doing because it just we're in the moment. And that's not something that we're used to.
No. I mean, seriously, I can't play back and remember starting it.
No, because you've been
hearing
here.
it, starting it.
Because you're here.
Crazy, because I'm here now. And another thing that I'm here now is Clear Vision Mastermind. We're talking about the Plantspiration community, belief in the mission and the process. And even when others doubt you or laugh at what you're doing or what, hey man, I have faith in me, and that's
Today I
what
do.
I'm gonna do.
But that came also, I want to let people know that also came with more stress management, more meditation, more of that is what built the self-confidence, the self-efficacy, the power of, believing in myself. Because so many of us, myself included, is why I talk about it. If you're out there thinking, I can't do this, I'm broken, this doesn't work for me, you are shutting down every possibility.
Yeah.
By putting that out there like that. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but it's real.
Yeah, that's real.
It's real. It's evidence. It's science. When we're talking about wanting to do something and believing in it, you're really going to make it happen.
I think about what I think about back to when I started my machine shop, because I was like, I would hear just every machinist over the years is like, I want to have machines at home. And, I want to do it, or I'm going to do it. And then other guys be like, yeah, man, yeah, I'll never be able to do that. Man, how am I going to ever? And I was always like, man, I can't wait I'm going to have machines at home.
You talked about it forever.
I talked about it for years, of course. And
You
then
looked
finally things lined up.
Well, I also want to point out that I remember the advertiser, and you were always scanning the advertiser for machines. So now when I look back, I realize we didn't realize we were manifesting. We didn't know about the laws of attraction. We didn't understand, we weren't in what? You were already doing it.
Yeah.
Because the machines occurred.
It was happening. Yeah.
You're like, hey, I found this place and they're getting rid of it. And
yeah, the guy's retiring, closing a shop. I'm going to go
unbelievable.
see what he's got.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
And then you quit your job and you started just doing your own thing for all these years. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
Right at the time when I started my shop, then I was talking to the CNC dealer guy. Remember?
Yeah.
His name was Scott. Anyways, I was talking to him and like, man, I got to get one of these. Matter I brought home the brochures. I got to get, this is what I need. This is what I'm getting. I like put it up on my board. I didn't think about vision board, but I just thumbtacked it to my
I did not know that
out there. And yeah, and it was probably took like 4 years.
That you bought that big one?
Then I bought that brand new one.
Then everything turned around.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for all that.
It was crushing.
You didn't know
that was awesome.
It is awesome.
Well,
I mean,
it was.
was.
Well, it was
got
just
us
awesome
here.
that I'm like, I'm going to do this. Well, now thinking back I put all the stuff in place that I didn't even know.
I was always like, do it.
Thank you, Napoleon Hill.
I was always like, do it. Go for it.
I know.
Do
you
it.
were so damn supportive. You were, whatever it was. Yeah, you go. You tell him that, man.
Yeah.
I'm bitching about, look at it. Just gave me this, wanted to give me this shitty little raise. Remember,
tell that
every
story.
damn year. It's like,
Tell that story.
dude, just give me $1. What's this 75 cents crap?
This was
Come
like
on,
in the
I'm building-
90s.
You guys are making millions of dollars on these machines that I'm building. And then I got to go travel and install them for a couple weeks without the family and everything.
I
It's
was
just so
like,
messed up. And yeah, the change, it was like, you know what? That's
you
it.
were bent. I
was
remember.
bent.
And you had every right to be. You were just doing so many things.
I know. We kicked it around all weekend, and I went in there on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? You can keep that change because you're going to need it for the ad in the paper. I'm giving you my 2-week notice.
And when one door closed,
we'll give you $1. Okay. You
another
give me $1.
door opened.
But I'm still leaving.
That's you do what you got to do.
That's
it was
right. That's
scary stuff, that got us here. But I think
in those moments of scared or hard, that's where the growth happens. That's,
the hard
that's
stuff. What are
yeah.
they going to think? What are they going to say? All this stuff is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
We can look back now and see what we were doing on accident. Now it's more intentional. Thank goodness. It's more powerful when it's more intentional. But I think everybody has this in them. But we just lose that self-efficacy and belief in ourselves from everything else that's going on or issues within,
Mm-hmm.
and they get covered up and we lose our self-confidence and our belief and
ourself.
Ourself.
Really. We don't even know ourselves.
This
I forgot who I was because
honestly,
I was pretty chill and dialed in a long time ago, but just I let life get a hold of me instead of
true.
living my life.
Well, we didn't know how to handle it. We didn't have the skills.
No, or the guidance.
We didn't have the skills to get through that lack of guidance because so many people are familiar with that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it is,
that's what I mean. I resonate with a lot of people that I've seen that are like, yeah, I was just trying to figure it out.
chase and change.
Yeah,
Always trying to chase the change, trying to figure it out.
I was trying to chase dollars, but change, I guess. Yeah.
So would you say?
Oh, come on.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna give it to him. I mean, chasing change. I think everybody can understand. We want to do better. We want to make more. I think we want change to some degree.
Yeah, we do.
We wanted to get healthy. That's why we did this. We wanted to change. We wanted to get healthy, and we just said, you know what? We're just going to do it. We didn't think about all the mistakes that were made or what would happen if it went wrong. And we had a whole family together doing it. That's why we knew, hey, I have to start a community of stuff. So the first meetings out of my house, once I realized I have to stop, hey, you got to do this, or hey, let me show you how to do this, or here, I'll show you how to do this. I realized I just had to start doing it. And then the whole presentation of how I went about it was different. I immediately started this with, this is what is going on.
Yeah, giving them the information.
Yep. I was like,
This is what food's
here's some
doing to
foods
ya.
tasting like,
This is-
yeah. I realized, and even when I had that one business coach for that while, again, it was that moment of my life of, I thought that if somebody was here to help me with this, if one of the kids were here to help me with this was the only way that I would be able to do this. In the beginning, I really had this expectation, like everybody's just going to set this all up for me and I will just walk in and be able to do my talks.
They'll
Like
just
that's
hand you the mic. Here.
for 2 years, I was sure that the right timing was going to happen where everything was just going to fall into place and I would just have, but see
Like
that
you wouldn't have to work anymore at it.
basically,
Yeah, it was just going to happen.
yes, that it was just going to happen. And then it dawned on me, I had to look within myself and be like, holy shnikes, I actually have to do some work
You
here
got to do the work.
and realize where the mistakes are occurring, that I'm not moving forward. And look within myself. This is a deep talk. This is a deeper
That's just,
conversation this week.
Well,
but
that's just how it is.
those are the moments of growth when I
That's
realized, what is it that's making me feel like this when it shouldn't?
Yeah. Why do I feel uneasy about something when,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're listening better.
yeah.
Give me some right here.
Yeah.
It's not about willpower, is what I learned losing the weight and starting a business and starting a podcast. You've been watching us unfold this whole raw thing in front of your face since we started from day one. This has been about skill power. I mean, I couldn't do this if I wasn't tapping out and going on my bike ride and, singing my music all day long and being able to have boundaries of, if I didn't have to sleep, if I could function on no sleep, I would have no trouble wanting to take care of everybody and help them figure out how to help themselves. Okay. But that's not realistic.
That's a big job.
But if it was like, if I didn't recognize I have to sleep, I have to stop, I have to take time for myself, I have to drink water, I have to do this. The old me was, I wasn't sleeping.
No.
I was so worried about this one thing.
Something that you didn't have control over anyways. It was like something you couldn't control, something out in the world that's not yours to control.
Well, I wanted people to like me.
Yeah, you can't control.
I can't control that.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I was like, wait a minute, you have to like yourself. And then when you do, you'll realize I'm pretty cool and you can like me too.
Yeah. I'm just going to like myself over here. And if you like me, then that's cool.
And
if
I
don't really care.
And I love what I do. Yeah. And I love what I do in general.
I mean, of course I want people to like me, but if you don't, hey, that's on you. It doesn't really bother me anymore.
Yeah, I guess that was a letting go part too for us. Another growth part.
Hey, I still love you, brother.
That's
doesn't
right.
Matter.
I love
what you feel about me. I still love everybody.
Exactly. So. And I don't think we were even remotely close to that 10 years ago. See?
No.
We weren't. It wasn't like that. We were not aware.
Took a while.
What do you think was your shift? When and where, actually? I'm going to go.
Which part?
When do you think you let go and was like, you know what,
I don't know. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, less than a year.
I was going to say it wasn't recent.
No,
it was
seriously.
more recently that I watched this shift happen.
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah.
I think you were there. Like you were
I was
looking
there,
for
but
it.
I wasn't really putting it to use. I wasn't using my skill power.
It was like you wanted, and I know
I still felt out of balance. Like, God, there's so much shit coming at me. How could I do this? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just honest,
What do you call that?
And then I was just being honest.
Thank you. And that's when you're your funniest. That's when you're your best. And that's when we have these great conversations that anybody who's been around us says, you guys got to do a podcast.
Yeah.
You're just doing this thing.
Oh, sure. I got room for that.
That's how it started.
My schedule.
We had to sacrifice one thing for this though, and that was hard to do as well. We were doing yoga every Sunday at the same time for the members, but that was another one of those growth moments. I was giving my time to say, you can do this with me. I could do yoga anytime. I do yoga anytime. Exactly. But I was like, I'm going to be here at 9:00 to get everybody to go to yoga, and a lot of people weren't showing up. And I thought, I had to make that moment of what's more important. I could do this and we can do this growth thing with us and get the information out so more people can learn that they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Eat healthy, make these changes. Or anybody could go to yoga at 9 o'clock. My job is to
Anybody
teach
can
them
go.
to be self-autonomous and do it. So that was another growth moment of I've got to stop trying to make all this happen and realize it's already happening for the people that want it to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are the skills that I'm bringing them so that they can continue to do so well.
Okay.
And they're doing so well.
I know.
You have been hearing the chronometers, because then they go into Saturday support group and then they hear, oh my gosh, I'm sending Stefanie chronometers. And I'm going to say this, chronometers, people in the membership, I get stoked to see chronometers because they are the greatest data. People trust data,
Well, yeah, you can't like,
but you have to be honest with
it's
it. And
kind of
that's
like
some
facts.
growth.
It's like facts.
You have
can't
to.
have your own. I mean, this is what you put in and it spits it out what you did. And you got true numbers of where you're at. You know, it's a tool for you to see how we're doing nutritionally.
I was excited when I did take the American College of Lifestyle Medicine coaching course, and they brought that up, and I was like, yes, I know this. But this has been a gold star moment when I see people handing in their chronometer. It is never any judgment. It is always about the pattern. I'm a pattern seeker. I look for the patterns that are going on because I can see them really well. I did them.
Yeah.
The dieting, the cutting back, the cutting out, the self.
Well, and then when you talk to them about or whatever's going on, you're just such an empath that you feel what they're feeling, and you can really help
My heart.
them. You can help them more. Yeah.
Why I also had to put boundaries in, if I may be so honest here, because my heart goes out to people. I know the struggle. I know what that feels like to just be like, nobody's listening and this isn't working and I feel so overwhelmed, and I want to immediately like take them and go, I know, but you have to trust this process. There's more than food going on here.
Right.
It's in here, and these things we have in place, these skills are part of this opportunity to recognize and to grow from these things. And that's why people are being so successful. And anybody in Plantspiration that sticks around and follows these skills and this process, this will happen. It's evidence.
It is.
The only difference here is I believe in everybody having the ability to do this. Do not give up. There just is some steps to go into it, and it takes some time.
Yeah.
You know, I said to Pammy this morning when I was talking to her, you cannot get jacked at a gym by just showing up and watching people work out.
No. Or even if I mean,
you can't. You can't just join the gym and watch people work out and expect to gain muscle, strength, endurance, or any of those things. I mean, it's nice to watch and be inspired, okay? Or you can watch and you can be annoyed that it's not happening for you.
But, well, you got to only blame yourself if you're not doing the work.
Well, I don't even want to say blame.
Well, I know.
Because it's nobody's fault.
Okay,
it's an old pattern.
It's accountability, though, because that's what works. Just like getting through a hard time
They
or
have
whatever.
to show up to that accountability.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The chronometer for themselves.
Yeah.
They have to show up to these things to make that change of, I realize this is how to do it. I realize I hear other people doing it like this and it's working. And that's the beauty of the support group. When you hear other people doing this and you hear what they're doing to do this, it makes an impact. But again, that's back to that meditation stuff that you and I were talking about, that
Well, and the self-efficacy, seriously.
if you are here,
And you chill.
you'll hear these things.
That's right.
Gosh, this went deep.
The universe
This went
is
deep.
always talking to you. You just got to give it time, to listen.
That's not how I say it.
I don't know how you say it.
I say the universe is always talking to us. We just have to be quiet enough to listen.
That's right.
And that's powerful. I think that was, I don't know, that's how you heal.
That is.
You
How
just,
do you
you
heal?
just there's a lot going on. But anyway, this group has been crushing it. The texts have been coming in. People are getting these skill sets down. They're not giving up because this isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. And Plantspiration is just getting started with this Plantspiration Health Report,
That's right.
which are brought to you by Eat Your Plants Off classes.
That's right.
I don't talk enough about this amazing curriculum that Plantspiration has built, the Eat Your Plants Off classes, which blend lifestyle medicine and nutrition education, cooking, entertainment, and a little bit of neuroscience, I guess I bring in there because I'm talking about the dopamine and how good it feels good to feel good. And you're in a group of people who are talking about how good it feels to feel good and overcome obstacles. And
True.
this is why it's feeling so good. So last week, we're going to do that Plantspiration Health Report right now,
Yeah,
right? How's
man.
that going?
People are crushing it.
Well, I want to
Tell
just
you that's how
confess,
it's going.
I don't see the charts. I've given that job to you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't see it, and I feel
I've been
so bad.
appointed.
Sometimes people will say in my coaching calls, what you didn't see, and I feel horrible, by the way, for those of you who are listening. So I need to figure out to make sure I'm seeing these charts because I want to be up to date with my my members. They're not patients because I feel like that's just
No, that's not a word we use.
I get
We're
these
going to
people.
have patience, but we have people.
We also have onboarded 2 new people at Plantspiration this week, and I'm really grateful. We've got a new onboarding specialist, a member specialist.
Yeah.
So you'll be, when you join, you get the opportunity to see like all the amazing stuff that's going on because there's even more expertise coming in and making sure that people are getting everything they need to make this smooth.
Yep.
And, we want to welcome our new president.
Yes. Welcome.
Lauren, thank you.
Thank you.
And Leo, we know that you couldn't do this without Lauren.
That's right.
Leo's so invested.
I know. He's awesome.
He's got to get on this podcast.
Yeah, he's awesome. The crowd loves him.
Yeah, he has been like, he asks me about stuff like this.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. We're going to surprise you guys with Leo. Okay, so John, you've calculated last week was 1,769 pounds. And this is not just about the weight loss, but everybody's trying to get healthy.
You want the number first? Okay.
Let's hear it.
It's at 1,784.
Holy
we're up 15
cauliflower.
pounds,
See
man.
what I mean?
15 pounds.
It's every week it's going. Every
yeah.
week Plantspiration is bringing you this weight loss that we've been accumulating for the past 32 weeks. We started this at the beginning of Plantspiration Unplugged 32 weeks ago. We thought, hey, this would be fun to
let's
calculate
track
it.
Yeah.
And now look what it's doing.
It's
It's
awesome.
inspiring more people.
That's
and the
right.
feedback has been phenomenal.
Right. And like we got peeps feeling happier,
I
which
love
is
this.
awesome, right?
It's the whole
Calmer, even more confident. Like people
Hello.
are really growing here. And this is
they deserve
freaking
people.
awesome.
If you're listening, you deserve to be confident with everything you do.
Yeah, most certainly. They have, people also have more energy. They're reporting they feel and are lighter. Like people are crushing it.
They're walking and then they just float.
And well, it's
They
not
say
only,
they feel lighter.
It's right. And it's not even all about the weight either.
It's emotionally.
The baggage, they feel lighter. They're really emptying their glove box and cleaning it out and feeling awesome on their highway to hell.
It's because they're not dieting.
That's right.
That's kind of, I keep knocking this
Hey,
out.
you're like more Italian than me, talking with your hands all the time. What are you doing?
It's because they're showing up. It's the hard stuff of going, man, I made some mistakes and realizing everybody's going to go, hey, that's how we learn.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore where we're beating each other up. And we kind of need to hear it repetitively. We need to hear it in bulk, togetherly,
Yeah,
togetherly. But it's true.
That's an awesome word if it is one.
Well, look at how many times we hear, I had to eat this many calories, 1,800 calories, 2,000 calories, 1,800 calories. Like people are still like, what?
I know. That's something hard to wrap your head around with the billion-dollar diet industry telling you to go on a diet and restrict your stuff,
it's
take
embedded.
our supplements and do that. No. You just need to eat your plants off.
How embedded do you think that diet mentality is?
Dude, it was even in my head. I'm a guy.
But
Guys
what is
we
that
just
diet
eat.
mentality?
That you got to restrict.
It's ingrained in us.
That's
It's almost like
big.
an autopilot portion of our body.
Yeah, holy cow! Oh, I'm full, and you think that equals I'm fat.
It's what we grew up thinking.
Yeah,
It is one of the biggest things.
You're not getting up from that table until you clear your plate.
There's a lot of things that play a role in why people stay stuck while they know all this information and can't lose weight. And the majority of it, let me ask you this, because we do discuss this. What percentage of people do you think don't eat enough?
What do you mean? In the beginning?
Just
everybody.
That's where I'm getting at. Everybody that comes in when they're not losing weight, what is the number one problem?
They don't
obstacle,
eat enough.
I should say.
They don't eat enough.
They don't eat enough.
No, it's just ingrained in everybody, unconsciously or programmed, perhaps, to not eat, to restrict, and it's a big problem.
It's a big problem, and metabolic disease is due to lack of nutrients.
Yeah. And you could be stuffed eating 3,000 calories or more, but eating the wrong stuff, you're not getting the nutrients you need.
Not getting the nutrients. And we focus on hypernutrients, nourishing, flourishing, what's going on with the gut biome, lots of things, depression, anxiety, metabolic diseases, heart disease, autoimmune, diabetes. The list is just nonstop. But when we nourish and we get enough of these plants in and the nourishing and breaking that operating system, the old operating system of many, I see so often, unfortunately, these amazing people, they make one little, I don't even want to say the word mistake, because it's nobody's fault when you're in a group setting and potato chips are here and we've been in the habit of doing it for 30 years and everybody's watching. So there's a lot of this talk in the group constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're hearing other people go, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, wow.
Because you take that chip, you put it in your mouth, and then all of a sudden I can't eat for the rest of the day. I blew it. That's what I know. People can relate to this because this was how I lived.
And then it was like, well, I had one. I might as well just finish the whole bag.
And then the scale doesn't move. And then we go back to these.
Or it moves in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, then it's cutting back. And then they think that
then you beat up on yourself more. Yeah. Oh.
And then it's really scary to hear eat your plants off, but that's why these classes are so successful.
Yeah,
that's why we're seeing such a great. Thank you. Thank you for helping me build that.
Eat your plants off. That's for real. That's for real.
It's really trademarked. It's really what this Eat Your Plants Off nutrition education program is. Educate, motivate, and inspire people are our Wednesday night classes. And if you email us at team@Plantspiration, you can go ahead and check out one of our classes. We'd love to send you so that you can see. But this is not just about the food and nutrition. This is about lifestyle. And this is why John and I are out here, bringing everything that we've learned and what we're seeing happen to this amazing community of people. And it's inspiring.
I'm telling you,
they don't call
it puts a big
for nothing.
Smile on my face.
What part?
Just the community and seeing everybody crush it. I mean, people
they deserve it.
Yeah.
Every single person that shows up in there is amazing. If you're listening, yes, all of you that show up, every single one of you, you're in a very big part of your journey right there. And this is how people make it to the top to succeed, by leaning into the skills that are being presented, brought to you, taught to you, inspired, encouraged. I don't even know what else to say.
It's just amazing. You guys are awesome. The community rocks. You guys are going to have another great week.
I don't know what else to say. It's going to be a great week. Let me just say this before we go. This week's class is going to be about strong bones. And can I just say I'm grateful for strong bones? When we returned that bike, she was like, yeah, this person fell off and broke this and broke that. And I'm like, do not. I have unfortunately wiped out quite a few times. And I'm going to say this again. I wholeheartedly believe the amount of greens, the amount of calcium, the way people are learning to put some lime with it and some vitamin C to make these things absorb. They're actually learning how to get this down.
Yeah.
This class this week is about bone health, strong bones.
You would have broke a few on all the little bike crashes.
Come on. I have wiped out, and it's...
Remember when you ran into the back of that car?
You don't tell people that.
Oh, man.
I was just checking my run keeper, and I looked down, and I was on the back of a trunk.
Bam,
I was
boom.
Startled.
Yeah.
And for a while, I had some issues with
your shoulder,
this side of my shoulder, my body.
Or your chest assist up here.
But I got a great PT. My gosh. Amazing. So this week's class is about bone health. I mean, this is the stuff people aren't learning in medical school. So get into this class and we're going to bring it. You guys can do this.
Heck
It
yeah.
isn't who you're going to be, it's who you are now. And that's
Yeah,
somebody who's going to say, you know what? I'm going to go at this. And whatever mistakes I made, whatever goes wrong, who cares?
that's right.
This is your journey, and this is how you're figuring out how to be the best version of yourself. We make mistakes, we F up, all that's happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I stopped getting upset about it and realizing, oh, this is part of this.
I know, exactly. Like one of these days I'll grab the apple instead of this thing. And well,
Next thing
I
you know,
just did it.
you're doing it.
I'm doing it. You know, I'm really wanting an apple.
You want one?
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here, you guys. I want you to eat your plants off. We'll see you in. Is this off? Is this the end? I'm going to put my hands in my pocket just like I would tell the kids when we would go through fancy stores. You guys, we can't wait to see you next week. Listen, be the best version of yourself, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We're just really grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
That's
And
right. Believe in yourself.
if this fired you up or you want to inspire more people, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, John,
Eat your plants off.
we're
We'll
doing
see
it.
you guys.
Love ya.
Love you.
Bye.